there, welcome back to Challenge Tuesday. That's not the jingle. So, I'm going to do the famous how can you do if you bottom at Christmas challenge. Notoriously, it's difficult to stay up if you're bottom at Christmas. So what we'll do is we'll use a lovely snow graphic to take our way straight to the 25th of December. Oh, Christmas. Right then, we've made our way to the 25th of December. Merry Christmas, everyone. Very Merry Christmas. Very Merry Christmas. Right then. Looking at some of the teams here. So Southampton not doing too well. Swansea. Liverpool not even doing very well. Could they be bottom of the league? I have no idea. I literally don't know who is bottom of the league right now on Christmas Day. So if we type in Premier... Oh, dearie me. Oh, it's Christmas. I've had too many sherries. Premier League. There it is. Perfect. Crystal Palace. Well, there was no sort of big build up there, was there? Crystal Palace only won 2 games, one of which was against Arsenal, weirdly enough. A lot of losses. 11 points. 11 points with Sunderland, so Sunderland could have been in there. So what we'll do is we'll fire it up. I will become the Crystal Palace manager. Is Neil Warnock still in charge? He is indeed, not for much longer. Deja vu for Neil there. And we'll see how we get on. Okay, so once again, I'm going Frosty the Snowman, privately educated. I'm going to keep it as it is. I'm going to keep it like suggested and based on Crystal Palace's reputation. I guess that's what it's based on, right? So here we are. Game time, and it's time to go. How much money do we have as Frosty the Snowman? That's the big question. I'm going to have to retire the other one. I'll do that in a second. 1.61 million, so not a great deal. We may have to go into the loan market then. I don't think we can bring in some of these big names like Andy Carroll and Matt Jarvis. Squad-wise, how are we looking? It's not too bad, actually. Zaha's decent on this game, and they've got a few other players. Marouane Chamakh even has got 9 goals in 18 appearances, 4 subs, but that's good, actually. Dwight Gale's got 2 in 2 starts, so that's not too bad. And Coquelin seems to come on as a sub only. Right then, so we'll come up with a tactic. I assume it's going to be a 4 at the back, 1 deep defensive midfielder, 2 in the middle, 2 wide, and Chamakh up top. But we'll have to wait and see. So I'll show you that in just a second. So here we are. Here's the team instructions. Retain possession, short passing, low crosses, run at the defence, exploit the flanks, play wider, use tighter marking at a higher tempo. And let me tell you why all of those things are going to come together to make the dream team. So we've got Speroni in goal, but they're definitely the best keeper at the club, better than Hennessy by a little distance. Ward, very good right back. Looking forward to having him in the team. Jokic, maybe, on the left. Good left back. Hangeland and Mariappa. Not exactly pacey Hangeland anymore, but he's not too slow. He's got good experience. He's been in some relegation battles before, so he should do well. And Mariappa is quick enough, so I think we're going to be okay in that area. Looking elsewhere along the line, obviously you can see there Jedinak is currently travelling, so I don't know if he'll be back for the next game against Villa. So I've put Coquelin in there. Only come on as a substitute, lacking a bit of match fitness, but I think he could be key. He's just got youthful exuberance. He's quite quick. He'll get up and down. He's got good sort of ball-winning midfield attributes, good tackling, decent passing, good work rate as well, which I really like. Aggression's good too. Bravery, actually, he's got a lot of good attributes in that area. Moving further forward, we've got Williams, Johnny Williams as our advanced playmaker. You can play any of the playmaker roles, but I think having an advanced playmaker to support Dwight Gale and the wingers will be most important. If it doesn't quite work, we may have to switch things up a little bit, because I think he's the one area that if he doesn't perform, we're going to struggle. He's got some very good mentals, decent physicals, and his technicals are lacking a little bit further down. So hopefully we can get enough out of him, though. And Joe Ledley, box-to-box midfielder. Aside from Jordan Henderson, who is undoubtedly king of the box-to-box midfielders, Joe Ledley, not a bad second place. I think he'll be solid in this team, actually. I think he's got a good engine on him. He's technically very good, and mentally he's very strong too. 27 years old now, so he's been around the block a little bit. On the right-hand side, Wilfried Zaha, obviously on loan from Manchester United, former Crystal Palace player. Very pacey, good dribbling, decent flair. Not got the best technicals, lower down the scale, and his mentals are left wanting. And at 22, though, I think he can be an impactful winger on that right-hand side. And Aurelana, I think that's how you say it. Again, pace. You can see I'm going for pace. I'm trying to work myself on the counter against the better teams. Can operate as an inside forward, so something we might consider, considering it is right-footed. But once again, him and Zaha are very quick. And that's why we've gone with Gale over Chamakh. if Gale doesn't score, his stats suggest he will do. Advanced forward, he's got decent pace, good off the ball, good composure, good finishing, dribbling. So really, he's got all the tools to be a success. So we'll have to see how we get on. I think what I'm going to do is come back at the end of January, see if we've made any transfer changes, and see how this system is getting on. It may well have changed. So I'll see you in just a moment. I didn't want to see you this early, but we've just played our first game, and Joe Ledley is out from 5 to 6 weeks. So that's the entire transfer window. So I may consider getting in a short-term loan. So I'm 2 games in to the challenge so far. Shamak's injured, Ledley's injured, and Coquelin is injured. So far, we're doing okay. I'm not massively disappointed. Villa 1-1, Liverpool 1-0. We now play Arsenal in the Cup and United in the league. And then we've got a nice little run of games where we might be able to pick up some points. But my grief, it's tough. We've just got our hands on our first win. We're only like in the middle of January, but yeah, Barry Bannon penalty, 81st minute. 33 shots from Southampton. Smash and grab. So we are 8 games in, 7 league games, 1 cup game. But we'll focus on the 7 league games. We're 7 games in as Crystal Palace, and we've only lost 2 Premier League games out of the 7. We have drawn 4 and only won 1. But it's encouraging to know that not only are we scoring a few goals, we're not conceding that many. We were on the end of a beating from Manchester United, but we're actually doing okay. 0-0 against Stoke in the last game, a game we probably could have won. Obviously, we got the smash and grab win against Southampton, and the squad is looking, well, it's not thin, and I wouldn't describe it as thin. I think we've got players in all areas. We're just hitting injuries at the wrong time. This is the time you really need to kick on, and players like Martin Kelly getting injured. Shamak's gone away on international duty. Luckily, a few players are returning. Jednak's just come back, but he's in need of rest after his international time. And yeah, there's a few players that need to put a shift in this back end of the season. They're going to be really important. The system's not changed too much. We're continuing on with this. I've had to bring O'Keefe up from the reserves. He's actually not that bad. I just found him in the reserves instead of bringing him in. I tried to bring in a few big names. I tried to bring in Lucas Podolski and Monreal. We need, like, Jovic's not that good, or Jokic is just not. He's not really Premier League quality. He's good at tackling, decent at parking, but his marking and heading are really, really letting him down, and we don't have someone to cover him in that position. So yeah, we have to carry on. It might be a case of switching Joe Ward to the left later on in the season, and I was trying to desperately to bring the left back, but no one who was even better than Bojan. So, work to be done. Quite a lot of games to go. The Premier League table's looking a little bit like this. So we're on 18 points. We started on 11, so we've picked up 7 since we began. And, you know, we're getting in the mix. There's clearly like a bottom 7 or 8 teams that we can potentially climb above. So we'll carry on. We'll march our way through, and I'll see you in just a second. Joe Ledley, back from his 5 to 6 weeks injury. Got another one. Brilliant. Cheers, Joe. Oh, no. We've got 4 centre-backs out. Scott Dan, Hangeland, Kelly and Smith are all out injured. Oh, dearie me. I'm not entirely sure what to do. I've got Newcastle. I'll briefly show you what the result is at the end. Okay, major panic over. Mini panic still alive. I've brought in Zeke Friars. So I think he might be the guy. He can play centre back, sort of. It's come to the end, which is a shame. We only lost 2-1. Our goal scorer, Zeke Friars. It was written in the stars. It was a Christmas miracle. So, well. It's the first time since the opening weekend that Crystal Palace are off the bottom. 27 games in, and we're up to 18th. The league table is looking like that. We're 18th. We're now only a couple of points behind safety. It's go time, and it's time to go. We just beat West Brom 1-0. Not a lot of goals in our games. That's how I like it. Okay, so since we last met, it was the 2-1 defeat. I think I covered the fact that Zeke got a goal for us. He's played alright, actually. He's done okay. He's had to fill in because of our mass injuries. As you can see, injuries are all gone now, but they have to go and gather some first team fitness so they can play for us in the title run. Okay, it's not gone that well in the last few games. How has it gone? Well, since we last met in the 2-1, it's been 1-0 versus West Brom, a 3-1 defeat to Everton, which was a funny game, really. We missed a penalty after going 3-0 down, but it was a really even game, and then eventually Shamak scored, and then it was just it was a shame because we could have done something in that game. We had more possession. They just scored 3 goals. A 2-2 against Manchester City, probably the best result of my tenure, even though it wasn't a win. A 90th minute goal. We actually scored 2 goals that were given as offside as well. It was a crazy game. I thought we were going to get hammered after, we had Chelsea next, and I was thinking, oh no, this is awful. What a horrible little run of games. And Chelsea battered us because they're Chelsea. And then we beat West Ham 2-0. Dwight Gale with both the goals. So how have people been getting on? Not too bad, actually. We didn't make any signings in January just because it was just hard to do. James Arthur has come. James MacArthur, sorry, not the same. James MacArthur's come in and done really well for us in the last 5 games, as has Coquelin when he's played. He's had to do sort of a fill-in job, but he's even scored a couple of goals. I think he got one against City, actually. I think he got the equaliser. Joel Ward's been very good. Yeah, the squad are looking okay. League table wise, how are we doing? We're a point behind Sunderland. Our goal difference is actually quite good. It's very competitive, so I'm pleased with that. And the upcoming game, which you might have seen, Leicester, Burnley, Hull. So I'll come back for the Arsenal game, or just before the Arsenal game, to see how we got on in the 3 very winnable games. So the first game of the 4 has been complete, and it was a loss against Arsenal. Only 2-0, one of which was a penalty, so I don't feel too sad about it. Still in 16th place, but it's still incredibly tight. The next game we've got is very important. Obviously, Sunderland lost, which is good for us. West Ham, how did they get? And they lost as well to Leicester, fellow relegation rival. They've pulled themselves out of it. So yeah, big game next game. Oh, that's an issue. We've just lost 2-0 at home as well, to make it even worse, against Sunderland, which makes the bottom of the table very, very, very close. Like, logically speaking, we can still come bottom. That's how ridiculous it is. We've got a game against Liverpool next, who haven't been in the greatest of form. Like, they concede as many as they score, pretty much. So it's going to be vital. Our goal difference is... there's some teams we've obviously got an advantage over, and there's others we just don't. So, yeah, we've got 2 really big games coming up. We've got to get a point, or we've got to get a win from one of them. Oh, you know what happens? I'm just nervous. This is pretty unbelievable. We are 2-0 up. I could have made changes. This will seal it. I was not expecting this. I thought there was going to be a final day drama. Dwight Gale has got a double. He's got a brace against Liverpool, and with time gone, I assume, looking at the... Yeah, we're 4 points. Okay, we can't go down, which means we have survived the drop. I am really surprised that we've managed to stay up. I honestly thought when we started off, like, we were doing okay, but we weren't winning. That is a turn up for the books. They had the better of the game as well, but Dwight Gale, the big man on campus, he's been brilliant. The objective was to stay up, and we've done it. So I think what we'll do is leave the episode there. I do want to highlight, though, just how good Dwight Gale has been for me. In the last few games, so he's got 7 goals, what's that, in 7 games, which is just absolutely priceless when you're down there in the Premier League. You need a player to come up big for you. Obviously, it was between him and Shamak when we arrived at the club. Shamak was the main goal scorer. They've finished both on 11 goals even, and we've done terrifically well, and I'm very pleased with the performance. And that is a Challenge Tuesday complete. We failed as Dortmund last time. Obviously, leave your Challenge Tuesdays in the comment section below if you've got a suggestion for the new year. And yeah, from me, Dr. Benji, once again, have a very nice Christmas if I don't see you before. Yeah, and that leaves us there. If you could leave a like on the video, that'd be very much appreciated. And if you can subscribe to the channel too, we'll be friends forever. So from me, Dr. Benji, thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.